Yes, it is generally acceptable to attach voice and data wires directly to the ceiling with J-hook nails in a small warehouse office environment, provided that certain requirements are met. Firstly, consider the ceiling type. The ceiling should ideally be a suspended ceiling with accessible T-bars or joists to facilitate easy installation and maintenance. Secondly, the cable type is important. The cable should be rated for use in plenum spaces, which are air handling areas, such as Category 5E or 6 and shielded twisted pair or foiled twisted pair cables. Plenum rated cables are designed to be fire resistant and produce minimal smoke in the event of a fire, making them suitable for installation in air handling spaces. Thirdly, cable tension must be addressed. Ensure there is enough slack in the cables to prevent excessive tension or stress, which could damage the cables or compromise their performance. Avoid pulling the cables too tightly when attaching them to the J-hooks. Fourthly, consider the nail size. Use J-hook nails that are long enough to securely penetrate the ceiling material and support the weight of the cables without bending or pulling out. Fifthly, spacing is another important factor. Space the J-hook nails every 24 to 36 inches to provide adequate support and prevent the cables from sagging or becoming tangled. The exact spacing may vary depending on the weight and type of cables being supported. Sixthly, implement proper cable management practices. Use cable ties or Velcro straps to secure the cables to the J-hook nails and prevent them from becoming loose or entangled. This helps maintain a neat and organized cable installation, making it easier to trace and manage cables in the future. J-hook nails offer several advantages. Firstly, simplicity. J-hook nails are an easy and inexpensive solution for attaching cables to a ceiling, requiring minimal tools and labor for installation. Secondly, accessibility. The cables are easily accessible for maintenance or rerouting when using J-hook nails, allowing for quick and convenient changes to the cable infrastructure. Thirdly, cost-effectiveness. J-hook nails are a relatively inexpensive option compared to other cable management systems, making them an attractive choice for small warehouse offices with budget constraints. However, there are also some cautions to keep in mind when using J-hook nails. Firstly, avoid overload. Do not overload the J-hook nails with excessive weight, as this could cause them to bend, break, or pull out of the ceiling, leading to cable damage or safety hazards. Secondly, use proper nails. Use J-hook nails specifically designed for suspended ceilings to ensure proper support and prevent damage to the ceiling structure. Standard nails may not provide adequate support and could damage the ceiling tiles or grid. Also, verify that the use of J-hook nails for cable attachment is permitted in your jurisdiction and complies with all applicable building codes and regulations. Some areas may have restrictions on the types of fasteners that can be used in suspended ceilings. The selection of appropriate J-hooks for data and voice cable installations in warehouse offices hinges on several considerations, ensuring both functionality and adherence to safety standards. J-hooks come in various materials, each offering different levels of durability and suitability for specific environments. Plastic J-hooks are lightweight and non-conductive, making them ideal for environments where electrical isolation is crucial. They prevent grounding loops and reduce the risk of electrical interference. Metal J-hooks, often made of galvanized steel, offer superior strength and resistance to corrosion. These are suitable for heavier cable loads and harsher environments, ensuring long-term reliability. The size and design of J-hooks are critical for accommodating the cable bundle without causing damage. J-hooks are available in different sizes to accommodate varying numbers and diameters of cables. Overcrowding cables in a J-hook can lead to signal degradation and physical damage, so selecting the right size is essential. J-hooks with smooth, rounded edges prevent abrasion and kinking of cables, maintaining their integrity and performance. Proper installation techniques are vital to ensure the J-hooks function as intended and do not compromise the ceiling structure or cable performance. Before installation, it's crucial to inspect the ceiling to confirm it can support the J-hooks and cable load. For suspended ceilings, ensure the T-bars are robust and properly aligned. The method of attachment depends on the ceiling type. For suspended ceilings, J-hooks are typically attached to the T-bars using clips or screws designed for this purpose. When attaching J-hooks to wooden joists, use screws or nails that are long enough to penetrate the wood securely without protruding excessively. The spacing between J-hooks should be consistent and appropriate for the cable type and load. A general guideline is to space J-hooks every 4 to 5 feet for horizontal runs and closer for vertical runs to prevent sagging. Overspacing can lead to cable strain, while underspacing can increase material costs without significant benefit. Securing cables within the J-hooks properly prevents them from falling out or being damaged. Use cable ties or Velcro straps to bundle and secure the cables within the J-hooks. Avoid over-tightening the straps, as this can compress the cables and affect their performance. Ensure the cables are evenly distributed within the J-hook to balance the load and prevent any single cable from bearing excessive weight. Adhering to industry standards and best practices ensures a safe and reliable cable installation. The Telecommunications Industry Association (TIA) and the Electronic Industries Alliance (IA) provide standards for cable installation, including guidelines for J-hook usage. Following these standards ensures that the installation meets performance and safety requirements. Local building codes often dictate specific requirements for cable installations, including the types of materials that can be used and the methods of attachment. Always check and comply with local codes to avoid violations and ensure safety. Regularly inspecting and maintaining J-hook installations can prevent issues and extend the life of the cabling system. Conduct periodic inspections to check for any signs of damage to the J-hooks, such as bending, corrosion, or loose attachments. Ensure the cables are still properly secured and that there is no excessive sagging or strain. Address any issues promptly to prevent further damage or safety hazards. The benefits of using J-hooks in warehouse office environments are multifold. J-hooks are generally more cost-effective compared to cable trays or conduits. They require less material and labor for installation, making them a budget-friendly option for small to medium-sized installations. J-hooks provide excellent accessibility for cable maintenance and changes. Cables can be easily added, removed, or rerouted without disrupting the entire system. J-hooks support a variety of cable types, including data, voice, and low-voltage power cables. This versatility makes them suitable for diverse applications within a warehouse office. When installing data and voice cables using J-hooks, it is important to adhere to best practices to ensure optimal performance and longevity of the cabling system. Correct cable handling and preparation significantly impact the cable's performance and lifespan. Always handle cables carefully to avoid kinking, bending, or stretching them, as these can cause internal damage and signal degradation. Use appropriate tools for cutting and stripping cables to avoid damaging the conductors or insulation. Labeling cables at both ends with clear, permanent labels makes it easier to identify and trace cables during maintenance or troubleshooting. Use a cable labeling machine to create durable, easy-to-read labels. Proper grounding and bonding are essential for minimizing electrical interference and ensuring safety. Ground all metallic components of the cabling system, including J-hooks and cable shields, to a common ground point. Use appropriate grounding connectors and techniques to ensure a reliable electrical connection. Implementing effective cable management practices ensures a tidy and organized installation. Bundle cables using cable ties or Velcro straps, but avoid over-tightening them, as this can compress the cables and affect their performance. Route cables in a logical and organized manner, avoiding sharp bends and obstructions. Document the cable layout and connections to facilitate future maintenance and troubleshooting. Testing and certification are critical steps to verify the performance of the installed cabling system. Use a cable tester to verify that each cable meets the required performance specifications for its intended application. Certify the cabling system to ensure it complies with industry standards and manufacturer warranties. Maintaining accurate records of test results and certifications provides valuable documentation for future reference. Understanding cable types and specifications is essential for selecting the right cables for data and voice cabling system. And shielded twisted pair cables are commonly used for data and voice applications in office environments. They consist of twisted pairs of copper wires without any additional shielding. Shielded twisted pair (SDP) cables include a foil or braid shield around the twisted pairs to provide additional protection against electromagnetic interference (EMI). Fiber optic cables transmit data using light signals and are capable of supporting much higher bandwidths and longer distances than copper cables. Cable categories define the performance capabilities of UTP and SDP cables. Category 5e (Cat5e) cables support data rates up to 1 gigabit per second and are suitable for most office applications. Category 6 (Cat6) cables offer improved performance and can support data rates up to 10 gigabits per second over shorter distances. Category 6a (Cat6a) cables provide even better performance and can support 10 gigabits per second over longer distances. Selecting the right cable category depends on the current and future bandwidth requirements of the network. When installing cables in a warehouse office, it is important to consider the environmental conditions and potential hazards. Cables installed in plenum spaces, which are air handling areas, must be plenum rated to meet fire safety requirements. Plenum rated cables are designed to be fire resistant and produce minimal smoke in the event of a fire. Cables installed outdoors or in damp environments must be suitable for wet locations and protected from moisture. Use waterproof connectors and enclosures to prevent water from entering the cables. Cables installed in areas with high levels of electromagnetic interference (EMI) should be shielded to protect the data signals from interference. Use shielded cables and connectors to minimize EMI. Complying with electrical codes and safety regulations is crucial for ensuring a safe and compliant cable installation. The National Electrical Code (NEC) provides guidelines for cable installation, including requirements for cable support, grounding, and fire safety. Local building codes may also have specific requirements for cable installations. Obtain the necessary permits and inspections to ensure the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. The decision to use J-hooks for data and voice cable installations in a warehouse office environment involves weighing several advantages and disadvantages. J-hooks offer a practical and cost-effective solution for cable management, but their suitability depends on the specific needs and constraints of the project. Cost-effectiveness: J-hooks are generally less expensive than other cable management systems, such as cable trays and conduits. They require less material and labor for installation, making them an attractive option for budget-conscious projects. Ease of installation: J-hooks are easy to install and require minimal tools and expertise. This can save time and reduce labor costs compared to more complex cable management solutions. Accessibility: J-hooks provide excellent accessibility for cable maintenance and changes. Cables can be easily added, removed, or rerouted without disrupting the entire system. Flexibility: J-hooks offer flexibility in cable routing and can be easily adapted to accommodate changes in the cable layout. They can be installed in various orientations and configurations to meet specific project requirements. Weight capacity: J-hooks have a limited weight capacity compared to cable trays and conduits. Overloading J-hooks can cause them to bend or break, leading to cable damage and safety hazards. Protection: J-hooks provide minimal protection against physical damage and environmental factors. Cables installed in J-hooks are more vulnerable to abrasion impact and exposure to moisture and chemicals. Aesthetics: J-hooks may not be as aesthetically pleasing as other cable management systems, such as cable trays and conduits. This can be a concern in office environments where appearance is important. Code compliance: J-hook installations must comply with applicable electrical codes and safety regulations. It is important to ensure that the J-hooks are properly installed and that the cables are adequately supported and protected. The installation process begins with a thorough assessment of the warehouse office environment to identify any potential challenges and ensure the chosen cable management solution is appropriate. Evaluate the ceiling structure to determine its load-bearing capacity and suitability for J-hook installation. Inspect the area for any obstructions, such as pipes, ducts, or lighting fixtures, that may interfere with cable routing. Identify any potential sources of electromagnetic interference (EMI) that may require shielded cables or additional grounding measures. Develop a detailed cable layout plan that specifies the location of J-hooks, cable routes, and termination points. The plan should take into account the existing infrastructure and any future expansion needs. Select appropriate J-hooks and accessories based on the cable type, weight, and environmental conditions. Ensure that the J-hooks are rated for the intended load and are compatible with the ceiling structure. Gather all necessary tools and equipment, including a drill, screwdriver, cable cutter, cable stripper, cable ties, and a cable tester. Before installing J-hooks, prepare the cables by cutting them to the appropriate length and stripping the ends. Use a cable stripper to carefully remove the outer jacket without damaging the conductors. Terminate the cables with appropriate connectors, such as RJ45 connectors for data cables and telephone connectors for voice cables. Test each cable to ensure it meets the required performance specifications. Install the J-hooks according to the cable layout plan. For suspended ceilings, attach the J-hooks to the T-bars using clips or screws designed for this purpose. For solid ceilings, use anchors or screws to secure the J-hooks to the ceiling structure. Ensure that the J-hooks are properly spaced to provide adequate support for the cables. Route the cables through the J-hooks following the cable layout plan. Avoid sharp bends and ensure that the cables are not stretched or kinked. Secure the cables to the J-hooks using cable ties or Velcro straps. Avoid over-tightening the straps, as this can compress the cables and affect their performance. After the cables are installed, test the entire cabling system to ensure it meets the required performance specifications. Use a cable tester to verify that each cable is properly terminated and that there are no faults or shorts. Document the cable layout and test results for future reference.